Oh, beep. Wait, beep. LOL. Grand, whatever. Please be inspired, people, and they mamas. We got 30 minutes on the clock, Hina. Will we finish a full 30 minutes? I don't know about that. We are currently in LaGuardia at the TSA lost and found and the oversized baggage claim. I am literally all over the place, all over the time. And last week we posted Jean Sandoval's podcast episode, the guest of June 2026, and currently when we're posting this is June 8th 2026, and this month I wanted to talk about gay because happy Pride Month, y'all. Thank you guys so much again, as always, for being a part of this process. It's very awkward to be posting a podcast while I'm waiting for my partner in LaGuardia in New York. But what a wonderful time. I mean, again, so much happens. It's New York. But that's not what we were talking about today. We're talking about Pride Month because I'm gay. And so first off, happy Pride Month. What does that mean? That means that we're gay. We're in the gay community. And yeah, love is love. So support one another or be an ally. There's nothing else involved. I want to say that recently I had a conversation with my neighbor who I had not known was not a bigot. I mean, it's Texas, so you really never know what you can expect. And, that's kind of that's probably rude saying that, but again, you never know what you can expect, but thank God Houston, Texas is filled with some great people. So yeah, if you're not an ally, then what are you doing? And love is love. Damn, there's a lot more people here than there was earlier. Baggage claim number 1. But that's neither here nor there. You're in an airport, people are sleeping, people are reading, people are playing video games, people are doing all sorts of stuff. People are waiting for each other. I'm waiting for my partner. I feel like there could have been a better location in this airport, but hey, at least we're not moving constantly like I was last time we were in the airport. So love is love. That's a big point of Pride Month. Why should we stop people from loving each other in the first place? That's the problem, right? In 2015 we legalized gay marriage, and that makes no sense. We should have had love being legal forever. It should never have been a question of who is allowed to get married and who is not. And the institution of marriage in the first place is backwards and old, medieval even. So it's gay people wanting to partake in that form of capitalism, shouldn't that be something that we uplift, I guess? I don't know. I would not uplift capitalism, but I'm just saying wouldn't the government uplift that? But they don't because they're backwards. And anyway, thank you, I guess, Obama, for allowing gay people to get married. And I wish that gay people, again, were legal. I wish they were real. Jokes for listeners. But yeah, thank y'all for listening and supporting a gay creator. I am queer through and through. I've told this to many people before, but I'm not going to enter a relationship unless it's a queer relationship. I actually had a long-term partner in the past that I've left because they did not consider themselves queer, and that's highly interesting and maybe even suspect because obviously I'm gay. I feel obviously, right? But he was of a different generation. If y'all know me, I was dating a lot older of a man, and I shouldn't have, but I did, and that's neither here nor there. Or maybe it's everywhere, here and there, but if he decided that he was gay, it probably would have worked out. And I'm just saying that because they were going to therapy for it, and again, you don't have to go to therapy to figure out if you're gay or not, but I guess it helped me to stay in the relationship for longer. But again, it should just be or you don't know, and you should be proud of yourself. And also sometimes people don't consider themselves gay, but they are, and they hide that because of Christianity or religion or whatever reason. But again, love is love, and we're allowed to do whatever we want. And sometimes people forget that because again, we live in hard, rough times. Being gay is nothing but liberating. And I wanted to talk about that because, again, anyone who I date knows that I am gay and queer, and it has changed my relationships. Like, it creates, I think, a more safe and honest space. Lots of people do not want to even again admit that they're gay, even in gay relationships, or like I feel like sometimes they have side pieces or whatever, you know, and they ruin their families. Unfortunately, like again, there's a lot of people that have left their long-term families and relationships and become like trans or become gay, and it's like, yeah, you know, you should be open and like change into who you're meant to be, but like, you know, also like that's why we should liberate people faster, I guess. Like, you know, people deserve freedom, people deserve to be alive and loving and living with whoever they want to live with and loving whoever they want to love. Oh, you're good, no worries. But yeah, nothing but liberating. So yeah, I'm extremely grateful and happy to be gay and to be alive and to be out and about. I don't know if anyone knows this, but I came out as gay at 12, and like, again, there were signs, people knew, people didn't have to have me say anything, but I'm sure it helped and made people feel like I was being more vulnerable and like I was closer to them, so that's cool. Again, if I wasn't out as gay, I feel like I'd probably be more confused, and there was like a lot of confusing times. Like, it wasn't just a straightforward, easy journey, you know, but that's not the point. The point isn't perfection, the point is progress, and I remind myself that every single day because I've been progressing and things have been getting good. So yeah, I want to be grateful about that. Damn, that's a loud ass noise. I think that's the noise that they're telling you. There's about to be the luggage coming. Anyway, yeah, it's late. It's about to be midnight. My partner's gonna be here. Then I don't know how long this episode's gonna be. Obviously, I think that the airport episodes are like the craziest. But I feel free. Yeah. I feel free that I get to talk about this in New York and travel. I feel free that I get to be gay in New York and in Houston and in Alabama and Georgia and wherever else I go to, Louisiana, Mississippi, Indiana. What? I was not in Indiana recently, but anyway, Chicago. Yeah, that's where I was like raised for a while, Indiana and Chicago. And then California, you know, all the states in between where I'm flying, I guess. My butt really hurts sitting on this pole. And, you know, I don't really want to think about, like, what all has been on this pole and who has cleaned this pole, because, you know, it was our duty, it was our job in the H-E-Bs to clean the poles in the grocery store. But, like, did we do them? No, not every night. How could we? It was, like, an entire H-E-B and none of the workers wanted to clean. And I was working overnights, by the way, in the middle of the night, working at H-E-B. Terrible, terrifying, horrible, awful, amazing also, crazy world that you get to live in. Yeah, oh wow. And so I'm going to be talking about my coming out story about me being 12 years old. So I guess we're like about 10 minutes now into the video. Oh, also this is my, I'm recording in New York. This is also my second time in New York. My first time in New York was in 2008, not 2008. I guess you could call it 2008 if you'd like to. But I was just a mere little old child. I was just a little old wee little one. You know, I was just 8 years old. And I remember like witnessing the drive from Indiana to New York, and I also remember the Statue of Liberty, and I had gone on the ferry, and inshallah, oh wow, they're switching the carousel for all these people, that's crazy. But anyway, I remember Staten Island, I remember the ferry, inshallah, all things going well, I should be going on the ferry again this time around. My coming out story. So yeah, when I was 12 years old, I had written down in my journal that I was gay, and you know, your coming out story should be beautiful, it should be amazing, and unfortunately when it comes to my mom and my dad, it was nothing like that. It was everything but beautiful and amazing. Like, unfortunately, my family had forced me to read the facts that I was gay out loud to my entire family, and I mean my mom, my dad, my sister, and my aunt. And like my sister and my aunt, I don't think even understood what was happening until like we got going. And I don't even remember like what happened that day. I just remember hiding because like at that point I had come out to my friends as gay, and like most of the school knew I was gay, and I think I was even in like gay relationships at this point, like in and out of girlfriends. But like, and I say in and out because like it would have been more like wholesome or like long term even as a child, I feel like, if I was given room to explore. And like maybe that's not the case for everyone, like, you know, U-Haul relationships are a thing in gay relationships especially, but like I don't know, like I feel like I just wasn't not even given room to explore. I just wasn't given room to like exist as a human being. And so yeah, my parents forced me to read that out loud to my family, and like it was devastating. Like, you know, first off, I was like using that as a coping mechanism since I was 7 years old, and I was living in my house with my parents, and my parents forced me to sleep in the same room as them. And, you know, it's not like we had much space or money, so like I don't blame them for these things, but at the same time, like, no kid should be sleeping with their parents in the same bedroom until they're 12. And then the only reason that like this fucked me up so bad was because like I was 12 years old, 13 years old. You know, we had moved to Katy already, Houston, Texas, and we had been in our house for like a year where I have my own room. But before that, again, I was in like a rental house, and before that we had a house in Indiana, but again, not as many rooms as we had people that needed rooms. And we also had a rental house in between that Indiana house and the house that we had gotten in Houston. And again, that house that we had in Houston was pretty trashy. I don't know what else to say. Like, it had a bunch of cockroaches. It had, I don't know, you know, it's just a neighborhood down the street, but like maybe that was just like a not well kept house. And regardless, you know, because I was sleeping in the same room as my parents for so long, it was like frightening when I was forced to read this page out loud to them, because I had been writing in my journal since I was 7. So does that mean like I had no privacy like since I was 7 years old? And like not even that, but like, you know, before privacy even is a thing in your household and like personal agency, like you have personal agency in school, you know, like they teach you that like you have some sort of privacy, or like not everyone will know everything that's happening to you. So like the fact that my parents were such helicopter parents, and not only like did they have to know everything that was happening to me, they also had to know like things that like they didn't understand, like, you know, like they had to just make a problem out of everything. And like there's probably lots more that we have to talk about on that.
For Miami is on carousel number 3. Miami is carousel number 3.
Damn. But yeah, you know, I am just here feeling my joy, feeling my gratefulness. It's like 5 more minutes, I think, until my partner arrives to New York. I don't even know if it's like at midnight. I unfortunately failed to ask for his boarding pass. But again, what we're doing here is just spreading awareness of things that happen in our lives, like the trauma and the happiness and the sadness and all of it, you know, the harsh truths of recording in public, also the realities of being yourself. I don't know, like I know that person that was right here didn't consent to have their voice or likelihood or whatever on the podcast, but like also like I'm like very obviously I think recording in an airport and speaking like to myself, even if I wasn't like on a phone, or like maybe I could be on a phone because I got my headphones and like I don't, my camera's here. So like I don't know, you could like avoid the person that's got the camera, but like people are just so curious. But again, like to each their own. Maybe people want to be in the podcast or whatnot. Maybe they just are curious or whatnot, and then they're like, okay, my curiosity does not mean that I need to be on the podcast. Anyway, my point is I don't record and edit. If I edited, maybe I would get rid of those moments. But we're here talking about reality, and we're refraining from cleaning up the final product. It's not that like I discourage drafts and finalizing them. It's more so that that's just not where we're at right now in these days. There's a lot of troubling behaviors, and I'm not trying to polish a final product. Like I'm saying, I'm trying to show you guys the reality of like what posting every week looks like, what traveling and encouraging my livelihood looks like as everything continues, you know, what having interviews and also talking about my own life looks like. And you know, obviously like everyone has a different method of like how their podcast goes or how their creativity goes. But again, being able to travel and being able to post saying I'm in different cities, like that is so amazing, you know. I'm just so grateful for everything that I continue to learn. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for this episode. Again, like there's so many other things that I have to update y'all about like what's happening at home and vending opportunities and performances and my art. But I think y'all know I've been going through it for some time now. Like I had my totaled car, I had a bus crash, and then, you know, I had a woman with stage 4 cancer sitting next to me on the plane, and her blessings were just so beautiful. Like, Kindry, I'm gonna remember you for the rest of my days. You're an amazing human being. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for being who you are. And like, I love having a kind, normal human being next to me on a flight, you know, on any sort of public transportation. And I do have quite often many normal people next to me. Anyway, y'all, I think this is like 15 minutes. I don't know how much storage I have on my phone. I got to go. It's time for me to find my boyfriend, and you know, he's probably got some time before he's off the plane because they're gonna be taxiing for a while. But you know, like I said, I don't know how much storage I have on my phone, and we got 15 minutes left on the clockina. We're just gonna close that up, call it a night. Next week we're talking about the community. Thank you guys so much for being a friend. Thank you guys so much for being here every single week. And to those of you who are not here every single week, thank you guys anyway. We are on episode 53. And you know what I'm gonna say here, guys. I hope you guys have a good day, night, wherever you guys are. I hope you guys are loving yourself, your community, your family. You guys are taking care of your health, brushing your teeth, eating good foods, drinking water, staying hydrated. You guys are journaling. You guys are coping with your mechanisms. I hope that you guys are doing everything that you guys need to do to be who you are. And with that, I love you guys. Until next time, bye-bye.